All right, hi guys. I'm just going to get started. We're just going to jump right into it. I'm making sure that I can see the live on my phone so I can see your guys' comments. Okay, there it is. Okay. All right. Welcome, you guys, to another interview. And this time it's with Nate McCallister. He has been in the business for a while and he's an email marketing guru. I linked his worksheet within the event, but I'll also link it within this live recording as well. Hey,
Awesome.
Diego, thanks for watching. Hashtag live if you're here live, hashtag replay if you're here for the replay, and smash that heart. And if you're on YouTube, subscribe and also hit that bell. So, Nate, I'm so glad to have you here today. I want my group to get to know who you are. You provide a ton of value on YouTube, about Instagram, about all types, and I want them to get to know you. So tell me about yourself and what or who got you into affiliate marketing. I know your background is not just affiliate marketing.
Right, right. Yeah, for sure. So first of all, thank you for having me on. That's awesome. But yeah, so my name is Nate McCallister. If you guys missed the intro, I started with internet business. Like I probably started getting interested in it like maybe 7 or 8 years ago. It kind of started to just start, it was on the back of my mind.
Yeah.
And I was one of those people that really did too much like analysis. I read all the books, I listened to all the podcasts, and I was that guy that was like sitting on his hands, like wanted to do stuff, but then was working, and I was also in school, and I had a new baby, and I always had an excuse for not actually um, building my business. But I had this like desire in the back of my mind, so I really was kind of like as I'd be at work, I'd be listening to like Pat Flynn and John Lee
Oh,
DeMoss and stuff like
so
that.
familiar, that story.
Yeah, yeah. So I love those guys, and I really let that just kind of stew in my head. And I heard like like 100 different ways to make money, and I tried some of them. Some of them worked, some of them didn't. But I stumbled onto one that was Amazon FBA, when you're basically buying stuff from like clearance stores and selling it on Amazon, and then netting the profit. So you buy it for $5 and sell it on Amazon for 20 and net the profit after fees.
Yeah.
And that was awesome. And we actually started, me and my business partner started doing that, and we were just doing it in the hours between work and school. And we started making real money. And it got to the point where I was like, man, I was at my job. I was like, I really don't like my job very much. But I really started to really hate my job when I felt like I was making less money at my job than I could be at my side hustle
Yeah.
with Amazon. So I got full into Amazon, and I was so obsessed and in love with Amazon. I quit my job, but I wasn't just, I'm like that type of person that when I find an opportunity, like I'm kind of like the guy that takes a picture of what he eats on Instagram because he wants everyone else to see what he's, because I want to share with everybody else. So
Yeah.
like whenever I find a way to like make money online or grow my audience or anything that I think is interesting to me, I like to share with other people. So I did that with Amazon FBA. I shared my story and I started blogging about Amazon.
Yeah.
And when I was blogging about Amazon, I kind of learned about like people started reaching out to me. They say, hey, we've got this product. You want to promote it on your blog? And they'd be like, I mean, I said no, I just didn't really think about it. And it
Mm-hmm.
got to the point where I was like, okay, so I'm creating blog posts. I'm like linking to these tools. And somebody's like, dude, you need to use affiliate links because if you're going to share them anyway, you might as well get paid for it. Like, I didn't even know, I've heard about that on these podcasts I'm listening to, but okay, I don't know if it actually works. So I started doing it and I started making money. And it kind of expanded from there. I kept growing my following. I never stopped blogging about Amazon. I still blog about Amazon. I'm not an active seller by any means. My business now is affiliate marketing and the content creation, and
Yeah.
I have a couple of softwares that I have to manage. But
That's
I
awesome.
never stopped creating content, and as my audience grew, my revenue grew because people were coming to read my blogs, and I was getting paid off of various different softwares and products and stuff that they were buying.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of where it started. And then I was like, man, this works for this niche. The concept is going to work in any niche, right? And I realized I was like, marketing is always going to need people who have
An audience.
influence to share what they're using or what they recommend, and it's just how we all work, right? Like we don't have time to make every single decision in our day. We always like to have someone we trust give us that little nudge, right? Like I started using ConvertKit, which is my email marketing software, because Pat Flynn was using it. I didn't really double think it because I know there's 1,000 I'll answer that question in a second. And so I knew that Pat Flynn was using ConvertKit. I know there's like 20, other options I could consider, but I'm like, it works for Pat. I'm going to try that one first. And of course I'm going to use Pat's link because I want him to get a commission because he's awesome. And he's helped me, he's helped me so much. So that's kind of where I started. And I'll go ahead and answer. I can answer that question. Somebody else.
Oh, okay. Let me show it. This is from Joseph Scott. And hey, Chris. Hey, Joseph. Hey, Larry. Hey, Frank. Go ahead. I just want to say hey to them.
Joseph said, you just started out selling on Amazon and immediately made enough to quit your job. No, not immediately. With Amazon, it takes a while because you have to like reinvest the inventory. So anybody who's selling on Amazon, you don't take a profit for like, if you're really going to grow, you really don't take a profit for a long time. I was doing Amazon and I was also doing what was called ungating. I was actually working with other people inside their accounts and I was reinvesting that money I was making into the account. So I grew much faster than most people. But no, it was definitely not immediate. Anyone that tells you you can make a ton of money with Amazon FBA, but not right away. You have to be ready to take almost no profit. Because you have to get more inventory, right? If you have $100 and even if you're getting 100% margins, that's only $100 profit every time that it's turning.
Yeah,
and that's not going to happen.
Between cash flow and inventory.
Yeah. So it's like you have to reinvest it, and if you're not getting exponentially more reinvested in inventory, you're not going to grow. So all these mega $1 million sellers, they're they're either leveraging a ton of debt or they grew very slowly and organically. I recommend slow and organic, but a lot of people are very comfortable leveraging, debt to buy inventory. I don't love that model, but part of the reason why I love affiliate marketing is just because you don't have that overhead. You're getting paid for your influence and for the quality of what you put out and you help people. Whereas with Amazon, it's very straightforward. Buying and selling things has been it's as rudimentary as it gets. I mean, it's just very basic, selling physical products for a profit. But affiliate marketing is different. It requires so much. It requires a lot more. And some people are more fit for that very straightforward, linear Amazon type of business. Yeah. And some people are more fit for the like content type of stuff or creating software. And so I don't think one is necessarily better than the other. For me, I like the marketing and the software much better than physical products. To me, it gets boring. But that does not mean it's not a very viable option. It's especially at first. Of all the options for getting started, I think that Amazon is like, and I'm not here to even talk about Amazon, but I think the fastest way to get started making money online, in my opinion, is Amazon. Even though you'll have to reinvest those profits for a long time to really see real growth. Yeah. I loved Amazon, but it's just not for me at this point in my career. It bores me.
Oh, okay. So that kind of answers my next question. For those of you who are watching, #live if you're here live, #replay if you're here for the replay. Hey, Jonathan. Hey, Frank. Hey, Larry. Joseph. Everyone who's watching. So Nate, since you said that you did both Amazon and affiliate marketing, and Amazon is products and it's like kind of boring for you. So you definitely, my question was like between e-commerce and affiliate marketing, what do you prefer and what is more passive to you, or in your terms, passive? Like, yeah, you work. I kind of know your material.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, passive. Yeah, that was one thing. I thought that was super clever. I was super proud of that one. Yeah, so definitely the affiliate marketing definitely feels more passive because no one can really take that away from me. With Amazon, you have to continually buy more inventory. You have to continually do all these, it doesn't, if you stop moving product, you stop getting paid. Yes, you can take a vacation, and Amazon with the FBA program, you told me you did FBM. With the FBA program, you don't necessarily, you can have a ton of inventory at Amazon, but it's gonna deplete. And honestly, even with affiliate marketing, like if you stop doing the work, like eventually Google's algorithms will change, Facebook ads costs will change, you'll become not as profitable eventually. But as far as comparing the two, affiliate marketing is definitely more passive, but it's also much more difficult to actually get traction with that. I think getting traction on Amazon is really pretty easy relatively. And also you get that like rush of revenue. Like I think a lot of people, like I was saying before we were talking, a lot of people aren't really, they don't realize how much they are or aren't making at first, but they get that first amount of money and they're kind of like, oh, this is actually, money's moving here. And it kind of excites them. Where a lot of people with affiliate marketing, they don't see any results for a really long time. A lot of people don't. And they'll be blogging. They'll be like, why is no one, I worked on this blog forever. I'm not ranking in Google. No one's liking my stuff. Nobody's commenting. Nobody's sharing. Like, what do I have to do? And most people give up on affiliate marketing before they get to the point where they're actually making sustainable like growth. So it's definitely, but once you get over that hump, you get that momentum, and it's so different. Like I recommend everybody, I'm like, if you are about to give up, just keep going a little bit further, because once you get rolling, everything changes. Like once you, and I tell people all the time, like try to get that first dollar as quickly as you can, because you need that. You need to know that it works, because it does work. I know people like me are out there, talking about how it works and bragging about how much money we're making, humble bragging about how much we're doing, not trying to, but when you're in this business, you have to like, people need to know that it actually works. Right. So we're going to share the results. But then they're like, oh, it's not working for me though. But they need to know that it is possible. It is legitimate. And once you build, it snowballs and it gets easier and it gets a lot more fun. Like it wasn't very much, I was excited at first, but like once I got to the point where I was like making money, I kind of plateaued where I was like, oh, this feels like a lot of work. And then it started getting to the point, I'm like, this is really fun again. I like waking up. I like checking my blog. I like checking my metrics, checking my conversion rates, checking my emails, seeing all this different stuff that I just love. And if you love that stuff, you can, you'll be very, very fulfilled doing this. So that was the big thing for me, is that it's incredibly fulfilling and it's fun. It's a game to me, and it's a fun game. And I think it's very possible to do it and do it ethically. That's a big problem that I think we have in our space, is a lot of people, unfortunately, it's very possible. Ethics and money don't necessarily go as hand in hand as I wish they did. There are a lot of people that are really unethical, that make a ton of money in this space. And it stinks, but the good news is that you can, be ethical and make money. And to me, that's kind of part of the game too, where I want to make sure that like, I want to reach my goals, but I also want to make sure that I don't like sell out in the process. And it's hard. It can be hard to pass on the easy dollar a lot, right? It can be hard to write those corny emails that exaggerate closing dates, or that, just a lot of stuff that a lot of affiliates do. You don't have to do it. And the more you grow, the more you realize like, okay, I can be honest, I can be true to myself, and I can make real money. So to me, that's very fulfilling. And my goal is everybody I talk to, I want to help them get to that point, if that's what they want. Yeah,
I think everyone who, at least who I talk to, that gets started with affiliate marketing, they're seeing the emails that are like, oh, 1 day left, and like really, really spammy.
Yeah. It's hard to, I mean, the problem is that everybody's like, oh, those, I wish I could say that stuff doesn't work, but I unfortunately, like some of my idols, like people that I respect and look up to, they do stuff like every once in a while. I'm like, oh no, but like, it's like, I don't know. Everybody makes like occasional mistakes, right? But it's just like, you have to be really vigilant, because I know I've done things or on accident, right? That are, not, aren't super, like maybe come off as spammy or whatever. And it's a balancing act. It's hard to make money and not bend the rules, right? So it's important that people remember that when they get started. Just remember that like you need to commit to doing it by the book, do it the right way. Don't spam people, don't lie to people, don't pretend, don't fake results. Don't, just be ethical, be true, don't exaggerate what you're doing, don't exaggerate what you're not doing, just be honest. And it ends up, over time, I've just seen people, the most consistent people are just usually very, very honest. It's not like the people that are most successful are the ones that are the best at really anything that they do. They explain it really well. They talk about it really well. Like I was probably most popular in my space when I was brand new to Amazon. When I was blogging about Amazon, I was blogging as like a newbie, and that was my voice. It was like, I don't really know what I'm doing, but watch me do it.
Yeah, you're documenting your journey.
Right. Yes. And people, a lot of people need to know that, like, if you're getting into affiliate marketing, don't get into it and be like, all right, the only way I'm going to make money, the only way people are going to listen to me is if I pretend to have all the answers. People don't really want that, and they can smell through it.
Yeah.
You need to be yourself, right? And you also need to provide value, and value doesn't necessarily have to be in the form of an answer. Value can be in the form of like, watch my journey, watch what I'm doing. This is something that you're interested in too. Watch me do it first, right? There's a bunch of different ways, and some of the biggest names in the space are not people that, you don't have to be like the world's best at everything or even anything to make a bunch of money in the space.
Yeah, as long as you're honest and genuine and consistent.
And you focus on value, right?
Yeah.
And also, it's just a lot of people that really put in the work and are focused. Like that's one of my big problems is focus. Like I get so excited by everything, and I try to do like all of these things at the same time. But there's some people that like, and I've been doing this probably full time now, I think like 5 years, between Amazon and everything else, 4 to 5 years. And there's people that have got into the space like within the last year that are probably even doing better than I am because they're so laser focused on one thing. And even though I've written like hundreds of blog posts and I've made all these videos and I've written books and all this stuff, it's funny. It's like only like a small fraction of it really moved the needle forward. And a lot of people are very good at knowing what moves the needle forward and only doing that. I'm not, but I do it. I've kind of succeeded in spite of myself by just doing a ton of things, and some things I get lucky and stick. But if you can be focused and focus on one thing, and you can really get results much more quickly than I did, or a lot of people in our space.
Sounds good. Hey guys, hey Carlos, thanks for joining. #live if you're here live.
#live.
Replay. If you're here for the replay, and smash the heart so that others in the group can see this. And oh, thanks, Nate.
There you go.
Yeah, Joseph and Carlos was kind of agreeing with you. There's false scarcity, and
false scarcity is a big one. The problem is that scarcity does sell so well. Like but it has to be genuine, and it's not hard to make genuine scarcity, right? I hate when people will send an email like closing tonight at midnight, and then the next day they're like, whoops-a-doodles, we forgot that something happened and it was our bad, so we don't want to punish you, so we're gonna keep the cart open for another 12 hours. I'm like, but as a marketer, like I've been part of really, really big launches, right, where it's like, like millions of dollars of things are being sold, and on the last hour of a launch that's like, are you familiar with like a Jeff Walker style launch, like a 4 video sequence, and on that last day before the cart closes, you get like half of your sales. Like literally I'm always amazed because I'm always like, man, this launch isn't going as well as we thought. And then on the last day, it's like ka-ching, 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 all the sales come in.
Yeah.
So then people are like, man, well, we promised everybody that this was going to close at midnight, and that's why there were so many sales. And then they're like, how much more money would we make if we kept the cart open? And I'm thinking like, you totally could make a ton of money by doing that. But you're selling out. You're not playing the long game, right? So like people that do that, the next time that they launch something as a marketer, right? And I think that I might be thinking it as a marketer. I'm sure most people probably don't even notice. It's just the truth. Like most people, it's sketchy as hell to a marketer like me and probably to you, but to most people, they probably don't notice. And so it's just stuff like that. Like you have to kind of balance. Like, are you okay with straight up lying to your people like that and opening it up? I'm not. I don't like that. It makes me feel like I need to take a shower. Like, but like you have to. It's that type of stuff that you kind of have to tiptoe around in our business because it does. I'm lying if I tell you that does not work, and it does. It will make you more money, probably even in the long run. It's just gross to me. I don't like it.
Carlos said he's been following you since Amazon.
Oh, nice.
Amazon space. So he's here to tune in and watch you.
Nice.
Thanks, Carlos. But
Joseph says there's false scarcity, pain points, fake testimonials, fake social proof. Yeah. There's a lot.
I've actually seen like reputable companies like Digital Marketer by Ryan Deiss use that technique. Like, oh, something was broken, so we're.
I know. I have a love-hate relationship with them too because they obviously crush. They obviously know what they're doing. I buy everything they sell. I buy pretty much everything anyone sells, and if it's related to marketing. But yeah, they do that too a lot. It's another thing too when you have like a business and you have other people around you because it should be you all should be rising up to each other's level, right? Where like the person that says like, guys, come on, that's kind of not cool. You would think that everybody would rise to that, but typically what I've noticed is that if multiple people are like, come on, dude, we're gonna make an extra $50,000 just by keeping the cart open, let's just do that. And then you can justify it. And again, it's just one of those things, you know. I don't want to get on like a high horse about it. And I like I said, I know that I'm seeing it as a marketer, whereas consumers probably don't care at all. I don't know. I definitely. Like,
oh, it's still open.
It's still open. Yeah. I know. But then it's like I just feel like it's rude to like my best customers who bought before the deadline because they thought I was being honest. And it's like for me, it's like I want to do this forever. So I don't want to lie to my people that trust me enough to spend money, right? Those are not just fans. They're like my best fans. They're like the fans that help me, do what I do. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be making any money. So I don't want to let those people down. So that's just kind of how I see it. But I kind of get, I know awesome. I get on a little bit of a high horse on that.
I feel a little bit more reassured from.
I've really put myself into a corner now because if y'all ever see me do this, you're gonna have to just tar and feather me pretty much. Like at this point, like I know I can obviously never do this, but I've been around launches that did it, and I've told people that when I promote their stuff, I'm like, you guys, if you do that, we can't. No, we can't do that. I was like, I will not send an email to my people after it's closed and it's still open. Like it's not okay with me. And I always make them promise me that before we start. I'm like, if you want to do it, that's fine, but you do it by yourselves.
That sounds good. Yeah, Joseph, money can't buy happiness or self-respect.
Yeah, no, that's the thing too. And it gets really relative too. Like when you start kind of like, I don't know, at a certain point, you have to go to bed with yourself and your thoughts every night. And this industry, unfortunately, and I hope that everybody's watching knows that like we have a chance to be the positive, change in our industry. I know it sounds corny, but there is a lot of sketchy stuff in the make money online industry, in the affiliate marketing industry, and marketing in general. It's sketchy. If people do it in sketchy ways, it is an absolute necessity. It is a good for the world. People like me, I spend so much money on make money from home stuff for myself because I make money from home now and that's what I wanted, right? But if you're not careful, there's a lot of people that are not in the best interest of their customers, and we have to go above that, right? And we have to kind of hopefully bring the industry with us. And in the long run, though, I still think that in the long run, it's more profitable to be ethical. It's not, short term. No, it's not. That's just the truth. It's short term. It is not more profitable, to be ethical. But long term, I want to truly believe that. And if it's not, that's fine. I'll take a little bit less money doing what I'm doing and sleep better at night, because you can invest your money that you make and make more. You don't need to, you don't need to absolutely milk every single thing you can. And a lot of times that means bending your own ethics, and I don't want to do that.
All right, sounds good. Hey guys, thanks for watching. #live if you hear live, #replay if you hear replay. Let me know, Nate, if that's getting annoying.
No, it is not.
I kind of want like to do that so they're like engaged.
Nope, it is not annoying.
Okay. I saw I'm gonna try to get through as many questions as possible that I have.
Sorry, I'm kind of rolling off.
But it's okay. It's totally fine. This is your moment. I saw one of your YouTube videos about paid traffic and how you were saying that most people are doing it wrong without an email sequence.
Yeah.
What path did you take to make sure that you do it right, and how come you didn't approach it like most people, or did you approach it like most people and you're like, oh, I'm not seeing anything?
So for me, one of the things that like I was saying, I was like kind of saturating myself in all of the information about like internet business through the podcast and all that stuff. And the one thing, luckily people like Pat Flynn learned that you needed an email list earlier than you started one. Usually most people start building their email list way too late. So for me, I started growing it right away. I wasn't running any paid ads. I actually got my ClickFunnels Dream Car Award and car without running a single paid ad. We can talk about that another time, but
that's amazing.
So that was cool. But what I realized was that you need to build your list, and that most people don't buy the first time they see whatever you're selling, or they don't opt in the first time they see it, or whatever it is. So if you can pay for traffic, I see it as this: you put money into traffic, right? And then people see it, they click on it. If they don't buy it, you can repixel them and pay again and pay again and pay again until maybe they buy, right? And let's say you're going to buy, it's worth $40 to you, whatever. But what I like to do is send my paid traffic to a bridge page or a landing page, and then let my email sequence not only sell whatever else I wanted to sell, but also indoctrinate them into like my brand. And I can send them to like, I can create an email sequence, like, depends what the space is. Like I've done some stuff for print on demand stuff. And for that space, I might say, hey, on this email, here's a free download. And then like 2 days later, I could say, hey, here's a YouTube video I made that I want you to go check out. It's related to the reason that they opted in. And so I'm doing a lot of things. So I'm getting them to get the free download, build some reciprocity, because you have to provide value or people are going to unsubscribe from your list. They're going to unsubscribe anyway. People get bored and they're going to unsubscribe, but the more value you can provide, the longer you're going to keep them. And I can do other things too. Like I said, I could send them to YouTube videos. So then I'm getting YouTube traffic. I could say, hey, I have an Instagram contest. Go enter my Instagram and then I'm growing my Instagram. And I could say, hey, here's a blog post I wrote reviewing one of my favorite tools about something related to what they're doing. And then they might buy that. And then after that, I'm actually able to get a lot more value out of just that one paid ad I ran that got that email opt-in. Now I have an email. And then not only that, but when you hit someone up in an email sequence, your email open rates are insanely higher than they're ever going to be. And not only are they higher, but like the rates of conversions are going to be way higher. People are going to be interested. I'll sign up for an email list a lot. And by the time that they actually email me, I forget what it even was. We all do it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So, and also it's like, it can be a lot of work to write a new email, as much as you should be sending emails to your audience. And also, why not give them your best stuff? I had somebody that was like, how come you don't send new content to your email subscribers? I say, I do send new content to my email subscribers, to my ones that are out of my sequence. The ones that are in my sequence, like just signed up, they don't know me. So I want them to get not my newest content, which is hopefully the best content, but I want to get them what I know is the best content that I think they want. So I'll link to my old posts. They might be 2 or 3 years old, but it's what I want them to see, because I know that it's in whatever their journey I think it's what is going to be most valuable to them, in my opinion. So I'll send people to my old posts. I'll send people to, other products, and I'm able to actually, I can actually kind of quantify what an email is worth. So I can say that, like, if someone opts into my email, I'm going to send them in through a 5 email sequence. I'm going to average about, X amount of dollars per email. So I could say, like, let's say I make like $4 per email that goes through the sequence. That means that I can pay up to that to get the email onto my email list.
Yeah.
Which makes it way easier to spend the money when you know that, right?
Yeah.
And that's a really powerful thing, because once you I would pay $4 for an email if I knew that I was going to if I was going to pay that $4 off after the sequence, because then I'm just basically getting free emails.
Yeah.
And a good email marketer should be able to get at least $1 per subscriber on their list per month. So if you have 10,000 people on your email list, you should be able to get $10,000 a month in revenue of some kind if you promote properly. And I truly believe that. And I've seen that across many different industries. And I think for me, it's actually much higher. But I think that's because I think I'm good at what I do. But I think most people, even without knowing a ton about it, can end up making about $1 per subscriber per month. So if you have 1,000 subscribers, you should be making $1,000 per month just from your email marketing efforts. So it's powerful, right? And if you can pay to build that list, you're building an asset that you can then use later. So if I can get people through my list and I make $4, it costs me $2 to get the email. That's cool. I made $2, but now I also have that email. So then the next month when I'm promoting something and I get, like, let's say that it's my own product and I get $200 and I get every penny of it, I'm going to send that to those people on my list. If the conversion rates are 3% and I have 20,000 people on a segment, I'm making a lot of money. And that's how you have to see it. And when you see it that way, you start to look at everything differently. You start looking at ad spend differently. You start looking at the content you create differently, because you're like, I don't want to just create crappy content. I want to create content that's actually going to get people to come onto my page and opt into my list, because that's where the money is going to be. And then everything kind of starts to change once you see that connection between your list and your earning power, at least in my opinion.
Definitely. Thank you for the very thorough response. Hey guys, I know you have some questions in the comments. So to serve, you guys, I do want to see if Nick can answer some of your questions.
Oh, Carlos is on my email list. Nice.
Yeah, Carlos has been following you for a while. Thanks, Carl, for watching. Hey Marlon, hey Frank. So Frank has this really long question. Let me know if you want to, if you can answer it.
I'm selling a superfood. Yeah, I can see it. I'm selling a superfood supplement with the second product is an oil made from the superfood. When I make my funnel, should I just offer? Oh, so this is a funnel question. Should I offer one of the products, the second one cross sell, or mirror my first offer and do the ad for 1, 3, 5 of the product and OTO for the second product? All right, this is like a math question. You'll get off the train in 4 hours. All right, so what I like to do with funnels, let me just make sure. I like to, anytime that you have, it depends. For a supplement, anything that you do that is replenishable, like a supplement, you're going to run out of, right? So one cool thing you can do is membership programs. That's not really, I mean, you could say, here's one. And if you wanted to, you could say, you can sign up and get 75% for 75% of the price, you can get this delivered to you every month. That's one cool thing you can do. I always recommend that if you sell something that is consumable, you want to gotta keep you on your toes. You always want to do like the upsell, right? Where you say, here's 3 for the price of 2. And then if they get the 3 for 2, then you upsell them 5 for the price of 3. And that's what I would do. And so there's a lot of different ways you could lay it out. I actually have another like little freebie that I haven't, it's not public. I'll share it soon, and I'll share it with Kim when I do. It's like a sales funnel worksheet where you can like actually like type in your funnel products and you can kind of, I use it myself. You kind of estimate what you would be making if people went through at certain conversion rates throughout your funnel. But yeah, so if the products are complementary, you might want to do if that, like you said, that second superfood thing was a compliment to the first one, maybe add that as a downsell. But I would definitely try to maximize the cart size, and I would probably start with here's more for a discount, buy bulk, get a discount. And if they take you up on that, then you give them even more until they stop. And then you after that, then you offer them the secondary supplement thing. But yeah, I'd have to kind of see it to really give you. Sorry, I can't. If I looked at it, I would be able to give you probably a little bit better advice.
Frank is in the blueprint mode. He has a lot of product, the product, but he's figuring out the funnel for it.
How are you fulfilling them? If you don't mind.
Frank is not drop shipping. Hey Frank, can you answer Nate? How are you fulfilling it? It's his own product, so maybe he's shipping it.
Yeah, because there's a bunch of cool ways to fulfill product. Amazon, actually, one thing that people are doing is actually fulfilling with Amazon. So they'll actually send their product into Amazon, even though they don't really intend for most of the sales to come from Amazon. They'll actually sell it, and then they use integrations, and they have Amazon ship it. So it's like it's being listed by Amazon, but it's really almost more like Amazon's your employee rather than your than the actual retailer that people are buying it from. A lot of people will sell more product on their own page than they would on Amazon, which is actually pretty smart because it's hard to compete on Amazon for a lot of private label products. Like things like if you wanted to create, like, I don't know, something basic like a phone case, it would be almost impossible to compete with a phone case on Amazon. But if you had your own ads and you paid for your own ads, your own traffic on a Shopify site, you could make so much more. So a lot of people are using Amazon just as the middleman as opposed to actually using their customers.
Yeah, third-party fulfillment company.
Yeah,
I know that they do that. If you sell on eBay, you can ship to your eBay customer from Amazon.
Yep.
And they'll do that for you.
Yeah, it's cool.
All right. Let's see. Do you use various paid ad networks? There's another audience question.
Yeah, so I definitely use one ad platform I've really been liking lately is actually Twitter. I've seen a lot of really low cost per click on Twitter, like 1/5 of the cost I was getting on Facebook for the same clicks. So I've been using Twitter a lot. Pinterest is okay. If I'll use Pinterest if I have like a really high ticket item, and I can really justify like a pretty high ad spend, like per click. It's all relative to what the product is, and if you have a good understanding of the conversion rates, you should be pretty comfortable spending. Even like I say, expensive. Like expensive is so relative. Like if I give Kim $2 and she's going to give me $5, I'm not going to go and complain about how I just spent $2 and it was so expensive. Like I just got $5. And so that's kind of how you got to look at it. But then you also have to be careful, right? Don't just go out and blow. Especially Google AdWords is that way. Google AdWords is awesome, but they will take all of your money if you let them. Google does not care how the money gets spent. They're going to be like, hey, we see that you're running ads for cell phone cases. Here's some keywords that we think you might be interested in. The keywords will not be like, they'll just be random. I mean, they're not going to make you money. And they don't really care. They just want you to keep spending. So that's, you got to be careful because the ad network is not necessarily on your team. And you definitely will notice that with Google, but Google is still awesome. It's just Google is just hard. Google is confusing, and most people don't get past that learning curve. I'm actually paying someone else to run my Google now. I'm in the process of learning it more myself because I want to be able to. I've just had a lot of bad ad experiences, like hiring out to people, and I'm like, I feel like way less than I do, and I don't like that. I don't like that I'm paying. I was like, it'd be cool if because once you know what you're doing. You could have someone theoretically optimizing ads it could be a full-time job, right? But once you know what you're doing, and if you're like me, like I don't have a big overhead, like everyone that works for me is virtual and they come and go as I need, right? But if you kind of have the same type of business as me and you know how to make a Facebook ad, like if I have an idea tonight, I can run traffic to it in an hour after it gets reviewed. And I do like that. So I do recommend that people do try to learn the platforms, but also don't feel like you have to know every single one. If you're trying to find one to get started on, probably Facebook and Instagram. It also depends on what your niche is. Some niches you can't even use Facebook. Like I'm trying to think which one. Like, wait, can you? I don't think you can do weight loss anymore on Facebook, can you? There's a couple of niches that seem good that you can't do on Facebook. They just brought back crypto and stuff like that. But yeah, I would learn Facebook, and then secondly, I would learn Google AdWords. And I'm a huge fan of organic traffic. That's easy to say, because I have it. But
build your blog for years.
Yeah, I know. That's like, people get so mad when I say that. Like, what type of traffic? I'm like, free. Free is a lot better. Like, but it was not free. It took so much time and so much work. My blog has a ton of articles on it now, but there's literally just hundreds of posts that have been edited or destroyed or terrible. Is a huge process, and I do not blame anybody who doesn't want to put in the work of a blog. Honestly, if I could do it all over again, I love writing. I like writing, so I wouldn't change what I did. I would do things a little bit differently, but I do wish I prioritized YouTube. I never took YouTube very seriously. I made a bunch of videos, but I never did any SEO. I didn't use tags. I didn't care about my thumbnails. I wasn't engaging with my audience. I was just crapping out videos, and I would just do it, randomly. But like with my blogs, I was a little bit more deliberate, and I knew I did my keyword research and stuff like that. But if you guys are brand new and you're trying to decide what to do, I would say YouTube is, and I think that the data definitely points to the fact that we are going more and more every year towards video. So if I were you and you're brand new and because you should balance, just because you can buy some traffic doesn't mean you should ever stop trying to get organic traffic. No matter where you get your paid traffic should help with your organic traffic, right? Like I was saying about my email sequence, I'll pay for traffic. I'll get someone in my email sequence, and then I'll send them links to my blog posts. And by doing that, maybe they'll share my blog post. Maybe I'll start to rank in Google for keywords, and just it snowballs.
Yeah. Hey, Edward. Hey, guys, if you're watching, #live if you hear live, #replay. If you're watching the replay, Nate has given us a ton of information and advice. I didn't know Twitter ads are cheap.
Yeah, it depends. It depends, I guess, what your niche is, but they've been really cheap for me, and they're pretty easy to make, and they're not as strict on the ad images, like Facebook with their 20% text. They're a little bit less strict on approving it. Yeah, so I've enjoyed them. Yeah,
awesome. All right, my next question is, and this goes with how you consume your information, and when you say, oh, you should go and learn this, do you have a mentor? Do you buy any courses? Do you just listen to Pat Flynn, his podcast every day still, or like what do you do now? Or what do you do back then versus what do you do now? Yeah.
I've spent so much. At first, when I started, I was not making money yet, so I was like, I can't spend a ton of money on myself yet. So anyone that is brand new and they're not going to go out and drop $2,000 on a course, I get it. I've been there. I feel you. At this point in my life, I know that it's not even a matter of is this any good. It's a matter of, if I buy this course, will I actually complete it? Because I have like this backlog of course, and I'm the type of I finish things at a much higher rate, I think, than most people. Like I usually finish things when I start them.
Oh, that's awesome.
Which is it's hard to finish. How many people buy courses and just never touch them? I know we all. I mean, it's hard.
Thousands of dollars.
Yeah, because you get, and I know it because like I've sold courses in Amazon, and I have to email people like, why did you buy this if you're not going to take it? Like, it's like, finish the course. Like, I promised that there was a reason you bought it. Finish it. But at this point in my life, I know that my business is at scale. If I spend $2,000 on a course, which I like most recently, I think the most recent course I bought was Spencer's Spencer's affiliate
Secret
course.
2.0.
That was awesome. Yeah, I plowed through. No, and then I bought the Google AdWords certification, and then yeah, those are my two most recent. I joined Pat Flynn's affiliate marketing thing like last year. Jump Cut Academy. I joined that. I bought I bought everything ClickFunnels has ever sold. I bought. But I go through them, and my goal is to immediately act on what it is. So if I have multiple things to do, I'll try to skip around. I'll say which one of these is going to make me money more quickly. Which one of these is going to make my life easier sooner. And that's the one I'll try to do. But I definitely still listen to my podcast. I definitely still read. I enjoy reading. I know a lot of people don't. I was on a podcast with somebody. He's like, "You believe that I've never read a book in my life?" I was like, "Dude, don't say that." That's stuff you text me. Like, that's stuff that you need to text me. Don't say that. But yeah, so I still consume a ton of information, and I enjoy that. I like the fact that I know a lot about the industry, but I approach, like, I bought Pat Flynn's affiliate marketing course knowing that it was for like new affiliates, knowing that I could teach that course pretty much. But I knew that Pat probably was going to say one or two or three or four things that I had never heard of that would change like my entire business. Same with Spencer's course. He showed some things in there about Google Ads that I did not know about. And I knew that there was going to be something like that because he does so well with ClickFunnels. I was like, I know that he does well with ClickFunnels. I do pretty well with ClickFunnels, but he uses a lot of paid traffic. Yeah. And I was like, so if I can maybe marry what I'm doing with what he's done, I can maybe make even more sales for myself. Right. So that's kind of how I approach it. I'm not trying to, I don't look at a book and say, I better not know anything in this book when or I'm going to be mad and it's going to be a ripoff. I'm like, no, I don't want like that. Even if it was one sentence, if it makes me money, that's all that I care about. Or makes me a better person. In some way. But yeah, you know.
Okay, that's an awesome answer. Thank you so much. Guys, you guys are still watching. Hey Frank, hey Carlos, Spencer is the man. I agree. He's like, he has the number one course right now for affiliate marketers.
Yeah, definitely. I told Spencer, I was like, I bought Pat's course and your course this year. And I was like, and yours was better than Pat's. And he goes, that is the greatest compliment. He's like,
Pat's been around forever.
Yeah, well, he's like, Pat is like my idol. I'm like, he's like my idol too. So don't take that compliment lightly. I was like, it just, his course was just, if I was going to send a brand new person, I'd probably send him to Pat's course. Yeah. But Spencer's was like, I actually felt like, man, even as someone who's made a good career out of marketing, like it was new stuff to me. Some of it was, so it was good stuff. Did you get it yet? You need to take it if you haven't taken it. Yeah, it's good
I'm going through it.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
All right. I have maybe like 2 more minutes.
I know we've got like 2 minutes left, and I've just destroyed all the questions.
No, like I answered a lot of the questions. It says one of it was, if you were to start from scratch, what would you do? You answered that. Kind of. You said that you would write because you love writing, so you'll still blog.
Yep.
But what would you do differently?
I would focus more on YouTube. I wouldn't just write like what I felt like writing. Mm-hmm. I would do more. I would marry the two of like what do I want to write about and what does my audience actually want. I tell people all the time, like, if you want to write for yourself, that's awesome. That's cool, but get a diary. Don't try to make money. Don't be mad that your blog's not making money if you're writing only what you want to write about, because you have to find that compromise, right? Like that the stuff that interests you, that is interesting enough to you that you'll actually finish a post or finish a video, because it's not easy. It's easy to write those first few paragraphs, but then when it comes to editing and you're going through, you're like, oh man, I have to do like spelling and grammar again, like I'm in high school. That takes a little bit of dedication. You have to know that there's going to be some sort of end result. So if your goal is to make money, you need to plan more strategically and do your keyword research. And I could talk forever about that, and I won't. But do your keyword research. Ask yourself, is this the type of thing that would lead to a lifelong follower, or would it lead to a sale, or would it lead to an opt-in, or will it lead to something that is the goal that you started your blog or YouTube channel or Facebook group, whatever, in the first place? So I would focus on, I wouldn't try to write an article every day. That was advice I got. It was terrible advice. It's like, just write as many articles as you can. I'm like, no, that's so bad. Write the best articles you can on whatever topic you cover, and make sure that other people actually are wanting to read that and have proven that based on like data. Like you can check Google and see what people are, use the keyword research tools to see what people actually want. Don't just guess.
Yeah, Neil Patel gives a lot of good advice for.
Oh yeah. He's like one of my idols as well. Except for on YouTube. He has like the worst YouTube videos I've ever seen in my life. Have you ever seen his YouTube videos? He's like screaming.
Like
I don't
really,
know if I think.
Short. Oh, is it like repurposed from his
Kind
Facebook?
of. No, well, he did this thing where he like couldn't control like his volume, and he was so loud, and it was just really, really weird. Like he's a great blogger, and he just kind of seemed more like you should be blogging more than. His channel is huge now, but it was really weird for a while. And he was really nice about it though in the comments. Everybody's like, dude, why is this man yelling at me? And he's like, sorry guys, I'll take the advice, and I'll try to tone it down. I'm like, oh man, don't be nice about it.
Well, all right, you guys, this is the end of the interview. Nate, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Your answers were just golden. I loved it. And I hope you guys get some value out of this. But we are ending the broadcast right now. And we're gonna transition into hashtag replay. Hashtag replay.